Welcome to Hoodoo TV, everyone. I want to thank everybody for jumping on. A little late today, but that's all right because we are talking new comic books for tomorrow. 12/12/18. It's a good day to be a comic book fan. My name is Hoosier. Thanks for joining on. I appreciate everybody for jumping on. Yeah, today we're going to talk a little bit of comics and go from there. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit subscribe. Do live videos like this all the time, usually at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Might change it to 7 just because work schedule changed recently. But yeah, make sure you're subscribing, hitting the bells. That way you can be part of this and go from there. We also have a Patreon where we stream some videos. We have some archive videos, and we're going to do some polls coming up there. So feel free to go to Hoodoo TV, or it's patreon.com/Hoodoo TV, and you know, thank us there. But thanks everybody for jumping on. One of the other things that we love doing here is we love doing the live chat. We have the live chat going, and check out the live chat. Let us know what's up. Only if we had some Valiant news to talk about is right, Danny. Only if there was some Valiant news to talk about, we could actually do so, and we can do that right. But yeah, there has been some interesting stuff happen recently. And yeah, it's kind of weird to see what has been going on. So with that being said, let's get into some news. Yes, the head of Valiant. As far as the editor-wise, Joe Illidge has been announced today that he is out. And in no time flat, Robert Myers is taking the place. We only have a little bit to show on what we actually got from Joe. I believe he was part of doing some of the Faith stuff, even though that was already in the works. Then we had that Bloodshot, and I believe that was kind of a mess. I believe the Bloodshot piece was a mess, and I don't know if that had something to do with it. And then I don't know if you noticed that issue number 4, Bloodshot Rising Spirit, does not have Ken Lashley on it. So creators are leaving. Lonnie and Zach, you know what I mean? They barely did anything, and they're gone. And then we have Andy Diggle, who was set to do Incursion. He's gone. So it's kind of a weird atmosphere there right now. And sadly, one of the people that we got to meet a lot was Victoria McNally. She was one of the marketing people. She is now gone as well. So no more Victoria, which is sad because we liked her. But on the good news, one of the people I really like is Robert. Robert is, he's been with Valiant for a long time. I believe he started in 2012. So he was there. He knows the characters really well, and it goes from there. I'm happy for this move. I actually think that it's a person, not that I know Joe. I never really got to meet Joe. But I've got to meet Robert, and he's part of the Facebook group, the Valiant Comic Fans. He participates. If you want to know whose autograph signed what and you have an old, he will help do it. And he loves it. He's been with these for a while, with these characters, and so he's got some of the continuity built in. He's not playing catch up necessarily like others that are maybe new to the world. So I'm in. I mean, you know, I know there's been so many moving pieces. Sad to see Victoria go. Sad to see Joe go. Because I've heard positive things about Joe from creators. They've said they've loved him, and he was handpicked from Warren. That's what Warren was said on that. But I'm excited for Robert. Give him an opportunity. And see what is to come about it. I know there's been a couple other promotions, like Matthew Klein got moved up, marketing and sales manager. So there's some interesting moving pieces within this Valiant universe right now, of that our own Valiant universe, the real life Valiant universe is kind of going in different directions. You know, get on here. The Bald Moose says the more he thinks about it, the better he feels about the move. That's kind of where I'm at too, Moose. I'm gonna agree with you on that. So the more it is thought about, the more I'm happy about it. Robert, I think is gonna be good. I wasn't too pumped up on the direction it seemed like it was going, and maybe we can get it changed a little bit. But let's go. Then we can get into some other Valiant comic news. And there are some news coming out about the Harbinger movie that is set to be underway. Some really interesting pieces here. One of the ones that I kind of I didn't even really think about casting this character, but Joe Irons, who is a huge piece to the Valiant universe and where everything goes. Joe Irons was Pete Stanchek's friend that gets killed. He's an addict. They went through all kinds of mental health hospitals together. And so this is Dylan O'Brien, who they're actually set. Dylan's here, this guy here. Hopefully you can see it moving. He was on the Maze Runner. He was on the lead on the Maze Runner. And I think that's a good casting for him. And then one of the other ones that a lot of people are really excited for is Beanie. God, forgive me for not remembering Beanie's name, but she is set to, or not set, rumored to be in for Faith. Rumored to be in for Faith. Beanie Fedelstein. And she's, a younger person. They say 25 years old, so hits the mark right there. She is actually, little known fact, she is the younger sister to Jonah Hill. So Jonah Hill's little sister could be playing Faith. So I actually, I just noticed that. Faith, Jonah Hill's little brother, their little sister, possibly Faith. Could be good call. Dinesh has said get excited about it, but unofficially get excited about it. So that looks like a positive thing. So I want to see more of that. So. And, Chris on the Bald Moose kind of says, but we will see more of Joe Irons in the comic book shows. I really would like to see some younger Pete as like a potential comic about some of the things he went through when they were, doing more, understanding more of Pete's background of going through the hospitals and him kind of identifying his powers as they came. I know we got a lot of it in Dysart's run. And I hope to hear some more of it. Joe was a cool character and very big piece to where Pete decides to go up against Toyo when spoiler alert, Joe's killed by Toyo. But that's kind of interesting. And then the last one is Noah Centineo. Not familiar with this dude kind of like at all. He is, he's 22 years old, Miami, Florida. And it looks like he comes from a family of, yeah, I thought there was something interesting about the family, but I guess there's not really a whole lot. They're just considered the mother and father of him. He's been on show How to Build a Better Boy. He's been recently on the show The Fosters. And he's kind of that under the radar guy, coming in to find this new role. And I'm pretty cool. I kind of like that the one of the main characters is that. And I like that, one of the side characters has actually been a main character in another show. And then again, I'm actually really kind of like interested in, Beanie Fedelstein. So that's kind of cool. So let's see what she's in. She's been in a show called Lady Bird. And they say Lady Bird is probably the show that got her this role. That she was sometimes a down and out character, but a very, very positive person. And she kind of fit that Faith role that people were wanting. But yeah, all for that. I mean, what do you guys think of those casting? I mean, I'm just happy we're getting news, to be honest. I'm happy we're getting news, period. I didn't pick Vin Diesel for Bloodshot, but I'm excited for it. These guys, I didn't have any of these as determined to who would come out, but I think they're great characters. I think they're that's some potential good things to come with those people. I'm gonna get with that with the news, and I got a little bit of more stuff that's kind of newsworthy later on at the end. So stay with me here. I'm gonna show you how to get some free comic books, how to get some free brand new books today, even before new comic book, you get them today. So stay with me. I'm going to give you that news later on in the show, and it's worth comic book industry maybe changing a little bit, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that after we do our pool list. So put your pool list in the link. I want to know what you guys are having, and going from there. And Danny keeps coming in on Faith. Shows Sony has faith in Bloodshot if they are taking casting for Harbinger. Yeah, they need to get going on that. And I've also heard that they're talking about the solo Faith, and they have a writer for the solo Faith, and that maybe that's going to leak right into the sixth, maybe possibly a sixth movie right away within that character, since the Harbinger is owned by Sony at this time. Well, let's get into some books coming out this week. Let me know what you guys are pulling. Let me know what's on your pull list. Some of the best lists we get come from you. I know Danny's introduced me to some books. Chris has introduced me to some books. And let's go from there. One of the ones, no doubt, we're going to go with our DC callouts. Got two of them. Batman Damned, finally coming back after the Bat Penis with Batman Damned #2. A solid first issue. Greg Capullo killing it. And another kind of, rebirth of one is coming out with another the Batman Who Laughs. #1 is coming back out with a second shmini. Sean Phillips, I think, did a fantastic job with the first one, and this is a character that I believe we're going to see a lot more, and I hope they come into the bigger picture of Batworld, Batman, and the Bat family. But two solid books coming out with DC, the DC Black Label. Batman Damned was great, the first issue. If you can get your hands on #1, I think they're going for like $75, but it's potential just because of the controversy around it that it could even go up, since it's pulled from the shelves. They're not reprinting it, and they decided that they will not. I believe it's in Capullo's program or in his contract that they won't edit any prints from him, so it won't be done until there's a collection to get that another print of #1. And this week we also had Miles Morales Spider-Verse come out, and this movie has come out. And what do we know that Marvel's to do is to come out with the book right after the movie, and that is Miles Morales Spider-Man #1 is out. If you guys saw that movie, tell me what you think. I have heard it was one of the best animated Marvel movies that has came out, period. So that's a high praise. Does it beat the DC movies? I want to ask that to everybody. What do you think? Does this new one, if you've seen it, what do you think it has done? One of my happy books that is out is going to be anything Black Hammer. Black Hammer, Jeff Lemire. Library Lemire here. We got the Quantum Age #5. Keep it going. And then we have this Black Hammer Cthulhusi. And this is Emmy Lennox, who I enjoyed. They did a brain farting on the short series they did with Image before, but they teamed up prior, and they had a great series with that. And this is continuing the Black Hammer world. I actually recently got my Black Hammer Library Edition. Huge, tall, big book. Worth it. I love it. Should have had it here with me on the show to show you guys. But Black Hammer continues to kill it. Lemire is continuing with a great universe. And I have a little bit more Lemire news later on in the show, so you might want to stay on for that as well. Yeah, little Lemire news to come for you. Make sure you're here for it. And we got a great one here. This has been a awesome run. Murder Falcon #3. Daniel Warren Johnson continues to do a great job on this book. This is the band. The band's getting together. And they are kicking butt and taking names. And they are touching in with these mythical creatures that are connected with instruments. And we're getting the original characters band together, and just the funny concept, great action, and it's got Daniel Warren Johnson just being funny with his wonderful art. It is a great combo. And then we also got our good old dude, Kirkman. Robert Kirkman, still going strong with Oblivion Song #10. I like Daniel De Felici's art in this. And Kirkman continues to write a great, strong character build with a high concept, and it is going well. So continued with that Oblivion Song #10. Now we're going to move over to Valiant with Andy Diggle continuing it with Renato Guedes doing Shadow Man #10. Only a couple more issues left on this. What is Jack going to do with the Dark family? What's going to happen with this? Who knows? I love where we're going with Jack. He's getting everything back together, and we're also getting a lot of Alyssa in this book so far. And I forget Dark Sister, and she's playing a heavy role in this, but we only got a couple more issues left. Sad to see Diggle go. Sad to see what could have been the Shadow Man, because I love the direction that this book was headed in, and I want to see if we can get some more out of it. Get some more. This is what I'm here to talk about, guys. This is the big thing this week. I'm going to go back just a second. Sorry, guys. We're going to get into that in a second. Actually, I want to read out some of the people's books that they got online. What do we have here? Chris says... He says, me and his daughter love Spider-Verse. That's what Danny says. Chris says, it'll be a young adult style of movie, but I'm okay with it. Potential with Harbinger. Maybe. I think Harbinger might be a little darker, considering with Pete and everything, but maybe the Faith movie might be darker. That might be what he's talking about there. And then we're going to go into Danny. Show Sony has some faith. Agreed. Spider-Man number 6. He's got Supergirl number 25. Birthright 34. The Magic Order number 5. X-Men Red number 11. X-23 number 7. Of course, he's got Oblivion Song number 10. Yep. And the massive, I think he's talking about the massive book of Black Hammer. It's huge. I love their library editions. Worth it. Yep. It's a comic book come to life. All of it. So it's trading Black Hammer, so got to wait. Definitely get into that hardcover. I think that's the way to go. It looks great on a shelf. Good read. Get it in a huge format. Going from there. Now I'm going to get into this. TKO Studios. We're live because I sneezed. Sorry, guys. TKO Studios. So TKO Studios presents some awesome new comics that are coming with some fantastic writers. You got Joshua Dysart coming out with Goodnight Paradise. You got the writer, director, showrunner of Gotham. And he's also the co-founder of this, TKO Studios, doing the 7 Deadly Sins. You got the amazing Garth Ennis doing a fantastic book, Sarah. And they are some great books, but look at this, for free. You're going to go into that tkpresents.com and you're going to put VIP access as your password. So that way you could actually pull up some of these new books. I got to read, I only got to read one of them so far, and I quite enjoyed it. Got to read half of another one, and loving it so far. So kind of the pieces that's in here, I don't know if I have it there. You're going to have your trade paperback for sale. You're going to have your full collection, your full run with a box that it comes with, that it's to go on the shelf together on each book. You can get them digitally. You can get them all collected. And so this is going to be straight to from the publisher to you. You got to go online to do it. It's an interesting concept because they are offering these to be sold to the stores, so you could actually buy them at the store if your comic book company actually goes to TKO and gets them ordered, or you can go do it yourself. So it's changing kind of the distribution model around. I know I've heard up and down about Diamond because they are monopoly, and if you put your label wrong on your box, they can fine you like $1,000 as a publisher within this market. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense that they do that, but they can because they're the only show in town, and that's what it is, unless these publishers want to do it on their own. And TKO says they're kind of changing it up because they're going to let you binge read a whole arc, which has I've talked about this on this show before. It goes back to Netflix. You know, it's how I watch a show. I almost binge watch a show. Hardly ever watch one as it comes out, when it comes out, besides Titans on DC Universe, because they're having that come once a week. I wish it was all at once. I would appreciate it more. But that's what they're doing with these books. They're going to let you get these big pieces, and they're still going to let you do the episodic issues, or you can go to the trade, or you can just do digital how you want. But it is kind of cool that right now they are letting you do that first issue that you will be able to do for free. You can get the first issue, check it, and see if you like it before you buy the full collection. And I think it's interesting. I think it is about time that they change somebody puts some pressure on Diamond maybe to show them that they're missing money, or to show that there's other options out there, because this is being pretty hard. Like I say, I heard about Alterna that they lost, $1,000 because of a shipping label was misprinted or whatnot, and it's hard to get through. But look at the art on these books. So I'm going to get back to TKO. They have done some fantastic creators together to pull these out. The Sarah book looks amazing. The Seven Deadly Sins. And then I love the Goodnight Paradise. Guy in the Goodnight Paradise. I love Dysart's one of my favorite writers. But he's doing a great job of writing this like story of the homeless man, crazy mental health. Like it's a homeless noir story is kind of what I would call it, on the beaches of California. And the art connected to it is great. It does get a little bit weird with the dialogue, but you know what? Having worked around that, worked at a homeless shelter, it makes sense. I caught it as being more authentic, but if you're not used to that language or that lifestyle, it may be a little awkward to you, but I dig it. And then when I move off to Sarah, Sarah's Garth Ennis title, and the like first 5 pages I got a chance to review. They're in here in the slideshow, like right there. It is fantastic. Look at the art and the shadows there. Oh yeah, beautiful, strong female lead. Garth Ennis, if we know Garth, he has done some amazing things with comic books in the past. Recommend people get into his Shadow Man run that he did prior to the 2012. They have that in a bunch of collections. And then Suzu Chun is the person who's done Seven Deadly Sins. He, like I say, he's written some great stuff like Gotham, the TV show. And then yeah, so I'm sold on TKO Studios, and I don't have the picture here, but there is a pre-order for a Lemire book that's coming out with it as well. So they are getting the who's who. I mean, you're getting, if you have Garth Ennis, Dysart, and you have Jeff Lemire and yeah, you are sitting pretty that those are the guys coming out. The Moose does say that he's already purchased the Dysart and the Ennis. Next payday, he will get the other two. He's buying the floppies, so that's great. Here pretty soon, we're going to be hopefully, knock on wood, have somebody come on the show to talk a little bit about TK Studios and what their concept, their model is, because I think they might have a combated plan to add some things for the comic books. So I dig it. So bringing binging an arc is probably the way to go. Danny talks about that too. You're definitely going to check this out. Sounds like a great idea. At the very least, give it a try with that first free issue. The first free issue to come out, you get to try it, which is saying a lot that they're doing. They expect you to like their books. And I believe that's a respectful thing to the reader too, so I applaud them for it. Because I believe that, hey, we're brand new. Don't just buy our whole arc the way we want it. We're going to show you what we got. Even though they're trusted creators that you've known and you've enjoyed, the concept's changed, and they're putting some stuff out there. And, give me a Dysart and Lemire book anyway, I'm probably going to read it. Give me a Garth Ennis book, I'm probably going to read it. And then I'm going to take on the rest and take a look. Sebastian Greiner is the editor-in-chief here. And he has done some fantastic things in his career. One of it is the Moose's favorite comic book, the Shirtless Bear Fighter, is out there. So he's gonna be digging that. And I believe Sebastian has done some. He's also editor for the Weatherman. So he's helping with the Weatherman. If you're into the Weatherman, he's done Scales and Scoundrels as well, of his own that he's created. So I'm digging what we got going on here, guys, and I think you guys should be as well. Let me know if you guys read those books, what you're thinking about them. I want to know what I want to know what you guys are thinking about them. I want to think what you're doing. So, Lemire could rewrite the phone book, and I'd probably buy that too. So, and he'd figure out how to make some characters out of that. So, got to give him some credit. Jeff Lemire could do anything ATM. So if he's on board, he's definitely in. Danny's in. Check that out. TKO Studios. But there's been a lot going on, and I'm happy to see some of these news. Happy to see some fantastic Harbinger news about the movies coming, about them getting worked out. Happy for Robert Myers for getting his promotion. Joe, good luck for Joe and whatever he's got coming up. And just, it's a lot of movement for the end of the year to get 2019 going and to see what happens. Let me know what you guys are thinking, what you guys, think of all the changes. Tell me what you think of those TKO books. Get a free book, free comic book, and you got 4 free books right there at TKO Presents. Again, that's VIP access is the password. Don't tell anybody. And we'll go from there. So get into that, pump those guys up, because I think it's a good concept. Changes it. I do kind of feel bad for the comic book stores a little bit, but I think Diamond has kind of pushed it to have this direction, and until things start changing, that's kind of what almost has to happen into a route. So yeah, but follow us on Twitter, follow us on Patreon, let us know what you're thinking. I want to thank the guys who got on and chatted. Danny and Chris jumped on. A couple other people jumped on, and it's been great. Let me know what you guys read. Put that in the comments below. And make sure you check out some videos. Hit subscribe. All the above, guys. And all of that. So, yep. And Danny did post something on the chat. I'm going to go right back to it. Is we need a Valiant Summit 2019. I will agree with that. I would love to see them push up a Valiant Summit and let us know what's coming. Give us a preview. Get the creators there. Get get some FaceTime for the people that are kind of not in the front right now. Let's get some FaceTime. Let's have a live front. If they, hey, I'd be happy to have them come on our show. Wishful thinking. But guys, I want to thank everybody for jumping on, and I'll see you guys again next week. Make sure you're checking us out at Twitter, and or Patreon, whatever, and however source you can get a hold of us. Let us know what you're thinking, what you guys are pulling. And we can do it from there. You guys, appreciate you guys for jumping on. Thank you, and have a good night.